Hey everybody, it's Allison Madel from Conduits of Love. Hoping you're having an amazing week, doing great, and really feeling encouraged. But anyway, today we're going to continue talking to our birth moms, but really, I feel like this is for everybody out there. We're really trying to focus on, in the next couple podcasts, about health, taking care of yourselves, really just focusing on getting back to the basics. I know that our family, last season or so. I'm not trying to get, hyper spiritual on you. I'm not trying to, you know, push my faith on you or anything. But I'm trying to just share some stuff we've been getting. We've been getting a lot of stuff from God and the Lord. He's been saying, get back to the basics. And we've been doing that. We've been eating organically for years. We've been using essential oils, which we're going to talk about today, for years. We've even started to cut out going to supermarkets. We're going back to like farms, dairies, small, when available, small mom and pop type grocery stores and such. So we're really trying to cut out what the Lord said, the middleman. The middleman being like, I'm not going to mention names of stores. If you do your research, you can probably figure out who I'm talking about. But you go right to the source. So in other words, we're cutting out the middleman and the ones who are trying to inflict and push down our throats their political agendas. Again, I've stated before, we're not political, we're governmental. In the Bible, Elijah, he was governmental. And yeah, I guess he was political. So I guess, yes, we're governmental and political. Daniel, he was political and governmental. And there's a whole list of others. Joseph. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make to you is that we do not agree with a lot of these assignments going on out there today. Most of the assignments are the enemy in different arenas. And with that being said, we shift back to the way it should be. So today, what we want to talk about are essential oils. And I'm going to make a disclaimer. I am not a medical practitioner or a midwife, doula. What I want to do is share with you the information we have found through research and what we have found to be successful ourselves. I am a distributor of essential oils of one company, but I am not going to market them, their particular company, or any companies. That is not what this is about. This is about sharing information, knowledge we found. But we do have two companies we would recommend. We will not push one versus the other. And I will only share that information upon request. Again, I am not a salesperson. I will not force anything upon anybody. I totally disagree with that because you know what? I'll be honest with you. It's witchcraft, manipulation, witchcraft. So I will not do that. I will only share with you what we have found. And if you ask me, I will share with you two companies. But I will tell you this much. Things have changed in these companies. So I would say you need to feel peace. With what information you get, you have to pray about it and feel peace. So any information, any questions, concerns of what you hear today, please contact us. Anything doesn't sound right, you're scratching your head, I need, clarify that. Give us a holler at www.conduitsoflove.com. Hit our contact us button. Or you can directly contact me at Allison, that's ALLYSON, at conduitsoflove.com. And that's all lowercase. And I'm going to state again, as always, if you are under the care of a medical practitioner, please consult with them about any medical or psychological challenges you may face. But we are always here to help. Okay, so that being said and done. All right, so again, we had talked about in the past podcast about symptoms that birth mothers may experience during pregnancy. What we're going to share today is going back to what we talked about the last time. We gave you some ideas, strategies, but there's more to it. And I'm not going to say that this is an all-inclusive list of some symptoms or challenges for pregnancy. I'm just saying this is what we found to be most common. But again, If anything you need clarification with, or you have any questions, or something you're battling, give us a holler. But again, please go to your medical practitioner if you haven't gone to them first. But anyway, first thing I want to say is that when you have a treatment plan from a physician, a midwife, a doula, before you change, you add, or you drop anything, please discuss with them. Essential oils typically are very harmless. They do your body good. They really do. It's kind of like our bodies are crying out for this, what we had years ago, because essential oils have been around for thousands and thousands of years, but it's kind of like our bodies are crying out. It's like, oh, I've been waiting for this for so long. But we want to make sure before you make any changes, as I said before, consult with whoever is overseeing your care. Okay, so with that being said, I mentioned a moment ago, essential oils have been around for thousands of years, and in the Bible, they're actually discussed. When Jesus was born, he was presented with frankincense, myrrh, and gold. But actually today, we actually have frankincense and myrrh, which are essential oils. Esther, if you read the book of Esther, when she was under, as well as these other young ladies, she was under this beauty regimen before meeting the king. We guarantee some of that beauty regimen were essential oils. So with essential oils, we're going to teach you some ways to kind of be a smart consumer. You want to make sure, first off, they're 100% pure therapeutic grade. So you need to make sure that they don't have any preservatives or additives, because the preservatives or additives could be very dangerous to you, and you don't want this stuff going into your body. Okay, so also, they may contaminate the essential oils. So, and also sometimes these preservatives and additives, they don't even address on the labels. If you read in like the supermarket, you might find, let's see, there's so many oils out there today on the, out there in the supermarkets and wherever, and they don't address, they'll say preservative and additives, they don't say. So that's a red flag. Next, you want to make sure when you buy essential oils, the container needs to be glass and brown. Glass is pure, because what happens when you have plastic, they have hormones as well, chemicals. That will totally mess up the oils, and also you don't want that in your body. And the color brown blocks unnecessary light that could possibly disrupt the properties of the oils. And that you want to make sure when you buy, those two big factors are important, as well as what I just mentioned a moment ago. I know, who knew, right? I'm going to talk about how to apply the oils, and through this podcast, there's going to be a variety of different ways we can apply oils. They recommend going to your feet because it's what's called VitaFlex feet points. I would recommend these zones I'm going to talk about when you apply the oils. If you can, please do a Google, because it's so much easier. I would love to do a YouTube. We're still working on getting YouTube ready for you guys, but we're still having some technical difficulties beyond our control, and we do hope to YouTube sooner. But in the meantime, can you please do a Google and just say VitaFlex. Now, Vita, I'll spell it V as in Victory, I, T as in Tom, A, Flex, F as in Frank, L, E as in Elephant, X as in X-ray, feet, chart. And that way you can see where the organs are, the areas that you need to focus on. So when you apply, you can make sure you go right to the zone. Now, I'm going to try to talk you through it, but so much easier when you can see it on a chart. I'm very visual. There's also a hand chart, and it's the same idea. If you can look that up, VitaFlex hand chart, and that will also show you the zones and where you can apply. And there's also what they call an auricular. That means the ear. A is in apple, U, R, I, C is in cat, U, L, A, R, Emotional therapy points. And again, it's in the ear, and you can probably do a Google and find it too. And that will be, actually we're going to discuss these different points. We're going to talk about definitely the feet chart, and we're going to talk about the ear in some of these, applications. But with this chart, it's going to help you understand when you apply your oils where you can specifically apply and focus. Because you're battling certain things, well, these different points in your ear, you can get down to the root and apply it and usually find a more rapid success rate than versus putting it somewhere else where it won't get to the root. But I'll also be honest with you, we found for us, this is our personal discovery, we have found that we apply oils to the back of our neck, so the base of your neck. They call it the C1, which is like the top. They also call it the hangman's noose, so it's the back of your neck, base of your skull. We found it to be very successful because it goes right directly to your central nervous system. So it's also something else to consider. But anyway, they also say that we can apply oils to our wrist, lower back, stomach, wherever the areas that you also may be afflicted. So we're going to talk about the points in your feet, like I said, ear, talk about the hand, but also we're going to talk about, just go put it directly to the source. But we found that going to the feet is very helpful. So here we go. Let's talk about this. All right, so in our previous podcast, we covered a few challenges during pregnancy, and we're going to discuss essential oils that can assist or alleviate the symptoms. Now, again, I'm not going to have an all-inclusive list of things you may challenge or be faced with, I should say, during pregnancy. So if anything that we don't address today, you can always give us a holler at our website, like I said, and contact me, and we'll try to help you out. Heartburn. We talked about heartburn, and we had some strategies last time about how you can help, to alleviate that. We, know that it's basically burning in your throat, your esophagus, or chest, and it comes from backup stomach acid in your throat or esophagus. And we talked last time about how baby grows, gets bigger and bigger, and there turns out to be more pressure on your body, especially your GI tract. So that heartburn can be triggered, we find, by the pregnancy. It can also be triggered by foods, alcohol, medications, in the conjunction with the pressure because of the baby. So it's recommended, as we talked before, about cutting back on greasy, rich, spicy foods. Of course, obviously, alcohol, when you're pregnant, you should not be drinking anyway. So the oils that we found to help take away the edge of heartburn are lemon and peppermint, which we're going to say to you, use with caution, because there's some of these oils we're going to discuss, and I'll red flag them, and I'm also going to discuss at the end of the podcast about oils that you should use with caution and reservation. They work, but since you're pregnant, there's some potency in them that you might want to be using some, let's think about this. So what they say and recommend is use like 2 or 3 drops applied to the bottom of your feet. Now, I would say go for your stomach too, because you can go right to the source. But for your feet, now I'm going to try to talk you through this for your VitaFlex feet. So you're going for the points in your feet. You want to go, so let's go on your left foot. And we're going to say go in from your arch. So you're going to about, let's say, 4 to 5 inches up from your heel. So roughly 4 inches. Go about an inch and a half inward from your arch. That's the stomach. All right, so you're going to apply it there. And what you want to do, again, there's 2 to 3 drops. Just go lather up, massage it in, and wait for it to soak in. They say to usually do it the morning and night. So all these treatments I'm going to talk about, you want to do the morning and the night. Now, the hard part of the day is because you don't want the oils to obviously get on your shoes, on the floors, because they'll rub off. So you might let it soak for a little bit. Put socks on. That could help. There is another oil. It's an enzyme called Deglaze, and it's capital D-I, capital G as in goat, L-A-Z as in zebra, E. This one, during pregnancy, used with caution. And it can be used, just like I described here, over your stomach, on your foot, and the colon. So what you would do, I'm going to try to talk to you about how to apply it, is going back to your left foot. And you are going to be going about 3 inches up from your heel. You're going to go in roughly, let's see, 2 inches in from the middle from your arch. And you want to actually go across, like you're making a square. And then you're going to go over about an inch, half an inch, an inch. Go down like you're making a square. And that square, when you go down, an inch, inch and a half. And then you go across. And you're going to go across about an inch, inch and a half. So, on your right foot, you're basically going in the same location as you just did with your colon. Your stomach is only on your left foot. So your colon, meaning your large intestine, is on both feet. So do exactly the same motion. But you do not have to go across the bottom like you did to finish the 3 sides of a square, I guess you could say. And again, it's so much more helpful if you have a chart in front of you. Before we go any further, this oil I just said to you about Deglaze, I have to mention, it's called a blended oil. So it has a few different kind of oils inside of it. And they're saying, and they believe, since it's a blended oil, the effect on the oils, the purity they're concerned about for during pregnancy. So again, use this with caution, but it has been found to be successful. So anyway, we found lemon helps, and we've also found peppermint, but again, because of the potency of peppermint, use caution. So this Deglaze is the same portions I just described with your left and right foot. So you just apply that there. But again, use caution. So, indigestion. Basically, as the name suggests, is trouble you may experience with digestion. Since baby grows bigger, more pressure is applied, as you know, and baby may lay at times next to your GI tract. So therefore, indigestion can occur. So oils to assist with indigestion are peppermint, again, use caution, ginger, which is great, lavender, which is wonderful. I'm going to talk in a moment about these oils I'm mentioning to you now, about why they're so great. Lavender, back to that, is a wonderful soother for emotions. Thyme, grapefruit, orange. These oils are wonderful to combat digestion challenges due to the restraint on the flow of your proper digestion. Okay, so grapefruit. Not just as good for digestion, but it's really good for your cardio system. Peppermint, as I mentioned before, great for your digestive system, but it's also good for your muscles, your bones, your nervous system, respiratory system, skin and hair. Orange, great for digestive system, emotional balance, immune system, skin and hair. Thyme, it's good for your immune system, muscles and bones, of course, again, your digestion. Lavender, as I mentioned a moment ago, it's good for your cardiovascular system. It's good for your emotional balance, nervous system, skin, and hair. And I want to say something before I go any further. Lavender. In our house, we put about 3 to 5 drops of lavender every night in our baths for all of our family. It's great to have a bath. Just soak away before bed. It soothes, it relaxes, it calms. It's lovely. And it's such a basic foundational block for a lot of the blended oils, and it's such a simple thing. It smells wonderful, and it's pure. Okay, ginger, awesome for digestive system, also for your nervous system. So I mentioned all these oils. I'm not saying use them all. I'm saying you have choices, you have options, so you don't have to feel that you have to use one. You can obviously mix or use one or another. But the ones that I'm going to say for digestion, we found ginger and definitely peppermint, which we said, again, use caution. So you can apply, as we mentioned a moment ago, 2 or 3 drops, morning and night. The peppermint, Again, lavender, yeah, and ginger. You can again go to your foot Vita Flex points for the stomach. Intestines, just we talked about before for heartburn. And like I said, go to the same places and also go on your right foot. So you're going to do the same thing. Okay, so it's hard to talk through. But if you have any questions, please let me know. So you're going to do exactly the same zones as you did with indigestion. All right, morning sickness, nausea. We've talked about it, and that nauseated feeling. I don't want to talk about it, but I will have to talk to you because I know you may battle it when you're pregnant. Usually comes in the first trimester of pregnancy. Morning sickness can be accompanied by vomiting. I know that I battled it, and I know certain things trigger it more so. And I noticed that also, for me personally, I noticed that increased throughout the day and in the evening, maybe at night. You may see the same thing, so it's not just morning sickness. You can wake up with it and increase during the day, or maybe you just see it in the afternoon to night, or maybe just at night. Everybody's different. So you'll see it typically in the first 6 weeks, and then it usually ends approximately at the 12th week. All right, so basically the oils recommended are similar to what we just talked about, but indigestion, heartburn. So they recommend ginger, Deglaze, like again we warn, use with caution. Peppermint, use with caution. Calamus, C as in cat, A-L-A, M as in Mary, U-S as in Sam. M grain, that's M as in Mary, hyphen G as in goat, R-A-I, N as in Nancy. Okay, for these essential oils that help with your nausea, you might be battling, you apply on the behind your ears. Okay, so we're going to go for the auricular emotional therapy points. You can go either ear. You go down the jawbone. You can actually go on your stomach directly. Use them as a compress. Usually warm compress is great. Or on the Vita Flex points of your feet, as we described before for your stomach, as well as you can do for the colon, but they really focus on the stomach. So just like we discussed in indigestion, heartburn on your feet. All right, so again, if you have any questions, give us a holler. Insomnia. Yes, we discussed this in our previous podcast, and we had some strategies of how to help you alleviate insomnia. And there are so many ideas. We know that a busy mind and emotions, as well as a host of other factors, can affect your sleep. But here are some essential oils that help you with insomnia. Lavender, and the one I'm going to say next is my all-time favorite. Peace and Calming. It is wonderful. It is a beautiful blend of citrus oils as well as blue tansy, but it's so peaceful and it's soothing and refreshing. It calms you down. It's wonderful. Lang Lang, which is Y-L-A, N as in Nancy, G as in goat, and again Y-L-A, N as in Nancy, G as in goat, and that's really good for blood pressure. If you battle high blood pressure, it really helps. Gentle Baby, which is wonderful. It's just like a Peace and Calming, but it's more gentle. And they recommend it more so in pregnancy. But Peace and Calming really does a great job. Citrus Fresh, Ruta Va La. Okay, that's R as in Ruth, U-T as in Tom, A, V as in Victory, A, L-A. Yes. We personally recommend, and again, I'm not marketing anything, but I'm just saying from our, what we've seen successful, Peace and Calming, Gentle Baby, Citrus Fresh, and Lavender, because they have all wonderful soothing properties to calm you down, relax you. All the oils I mentioned a moment ago are great, but these we found to be our top picks. Everybody's different, but again, This is what we found to be successful. So again, take about 2 to 3 drops of essential oils, and again, apply morning and night. Apply both of both of your big toes on both of your feet. Okay, apply it on the bottom of your big toes, and also on the back of your neck. You also can put a couple drops around your navel, and you can also put some in your bath. About, I would say, 3 to 5 drops, roughly. They're wonderful. They just calm you down and just soothe you. So let me talk to you about why do we say woohoo about these oils. Okay, well, citrus fresh, they say, is really good for emotional balance and your immune system. Peace and calming is great for emotional balance and your nervous system. And again, as I mentioned before, they are a mix of citruses and blue tansy and other soothing oils. So it is a blended oil, but again, it's just wonderful. Just, yeah, our top pick. Again, lavender, as I mentioned before, great for your cardiovascular system, emotional balance, and your skin and hair. Gentle baby, that's a little more gentle than peace and calming, but it's good for emotional balance, your skin and hair. Lang Lang, again, that's Y-L-A-N-G, Y-L-A-N-G. Again, great for the cardio system, great for battling high blood pressure, immune system, helps your immune, and your skin and hair. Rutavala is good for emotional balance in your nervous system. We also recommend Valor, V's in victory, A-L-O-R, because it soothes you. It's good for your muscles and your bones, emotional balance, nervous system, and skin and hair. They also say that Valor is like a chiropractor in a bottle. So it's really awesome for bones or joints, and it just really soothes you. It's beautiful. And again, not pushing it, but just what we found successful. Okay, let's talk about stress and anxiety. Yes, they're very common during pregnancy. You may be overly concerned about you and your baby's welfare, options, what you can do, or what's going on with you, and as you know, a long list of others. There's so many challenges you may face, and only you know what you're going through. So the essential oils we mentioned regarding insomnia, they're wonderful. So basically the same oils we just mentioned, as well as the Valor, you're going to have about 2 or 3 drops, again, morning and evening apply. Go to the back of your big toes, both feet, back of your neck at that C1 zone we talked about. That's the base of your neck. And then I'll remind you, our top picks, you can use any one we mentioned a moment ago. The whole long list: citrus fresh, peace and calming, lavender, gentle baby, lang lang, rutavala, Valor. We recommend, we found successful, peace and calming, lavender, lang lang, Valor, frankincense. Yes, frankincense. Joy, which is really good because it just helps take the edge off of stress, and if you're battling some oppression with it, wonderful. Oh yes, and our gentle baby. There are other oils that are recommended. We have not tried them yet, but we're going to share with the research we found. One is called Into the Future. This helps let go of fear, trauma, and helps with emotional balance. Another one is called Tranquil, which calms you down. It's good for emotional balance, your nervous system. Present Time, which help you focus on giving birth, so it's good for your emotional balance. With these oils, as well as the other ones I just mentioned, you can also diffuse into the air. So if you have a diffuser, you can do that. Or directly, you can inhale through your hands, or you can apply to your tissues, and just apply it that way. Again, put it in your bath water. If you're going to put it in your bath water, usually 3 to 5 drops will work. All right, so we didn't mention this in the last podcast, but postpartum depression is very common with women who have had a baby, or prayerfully not, miscarry. It's depression that's sometimes experienced by mothers shortly after, as I said, giving birth. New moms may feel irritable, sad, uncontrolled emotions, fatigue, anxiety, challenges sleeping, prayerfully not, thoughts of suicide, hopelessness, and guilt. It's because of the hormones, but some symptoms you can possibly experience during pregnancy too. What I just mentioned, anxiety, stress, challenges sleeping, it's because of the hormones basically. But postpartum depression is typically thought to result from a hormonal imbalance caused by pregnancy and childbirth. Just before a mother has her baby, the body creates about 400 milligrams of progesterone each day. Now that's a lot of progesterone, and that is to help hold the placenta in place. So when the baby's born, the progesterone production dramatically decreases and falls. So the body's inability to produce high doses of progesterone can help bring on the postpartum depression. So it's not about you, it's just the body. So oils that they recommend to combat are joy, lavender, lemon, grapefruit, peace and calming, valor, hope, gentle baby, harmony, frankincense, white angelica. Our picks we found that are great to help with emotional challenges, and as you can imagine, postpartum depression will help is joy, peace and calming, frankincense, gentle baby. Again, if you find yourself battling postpartum depression, please consult with your medical practitioner, please. We're always here for you, but we want to make sure that you are feeling great, strong, encouraged, and that you're moving on. There is also another oil that will help with the combat of the decrease in the progesterone. This oil is called Progessence, and it's Prog as in goat, E, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, E as in Nancy, C as in cat, E. And there's another one called Progessence Plus. So these are progesterone supplements that are great, but again, ask your medical practitioner first. So they're a natural supplement. So let's talk about how you apply. So use the oil of your choice. So Valor, whichever one you want. But Valor, they recommend take about 2 to 5 drops on the bottom of each foot. Just lather your feet up. Okay. I would also recommend go to the back of your ear, or go to your ear, both sides, especially the area. And if you look at a chart, it would be the inner portion, like at the top of your ear, on the outer ear. And there's a zone for depression, but the whole ear really be good to do. Just lather yourself up. But look at your chart. But they say use Harmony, and they say take 2 to 5 drops on the back of your neck. And then White Angelica, they say apply about 2 to 5 drops over the top of your shoulders, or no, the crown of your head. From all the other oils I mentioned, you can go to the VitaFlex point for the back of your big toes. You can go just lather up your feet, because it's good for your whole body, really, because you're trying to put yourself back in balance and order. Again, like I said, go to your ears, go to, again, the outer portion, but the inner portion, like about a ½ inch down from the top portion of your ear, and just lather up. So they say about 2 to 5 drops will do it. You also can go to the back of your neck, again, as we talked about before, for C1, the top to the base of your neck, because again, it all goes down to the CNS, Central Nervous System. The other zones we found successful, but these are things we recommend. Again, any questions, give us a holler. Oh, like cramps and Charlie horses, they hurt for everybody. It's not during pregnancy alone, but everybody, time to time, challenges of Charlie horses. We will discuss. Help is on the way right now. So we discussed in the previous podcast ideas to help combat Charlie horses and leg cramps. Now, again, as we talked before, there's simply your muscles contracting or spasms. So we don't only have to have them in your calves. It can happen in your thighs, your feet, but they are so painful. There's nothing worse than waking up in the middle of the night with them. You can have them during the day too. And we found that they may come from a lack of magnesium, calcium, or potassium. So there are some wonderful oils that can help you. Aroma C's. Okay, so aroma, A-R-O-M as in Mary, A. S is in Sam, I-E-Z for C's. Deep Relief, which we love in our house. Pan Away. And then they also say you can use Progessence or Progessence Plus, but again, make sure that you check with your medical practitioner for oversight. So let's take those oils of your choice. Deep Relief is in a roller, so that's nice. You don't have to worry about the drops. You can just roll away. But the other ones we just mentioned, use about 2 to 5 drops. Massage on the areas of discomfort. So if it's your feet, your calves, your thighs, and just lather away and massage in. And I know you gotta be gentle with the massage, but they do help. We use in our house, to be honest with you, Deep Relief. All right, we talked also the last time about restless leg syndrome. And we found restless legs are caused by the body dumping acid into the system at night. So in the evening, these other oils we typically talked about would be morning and night. The Charlie horses, leg cramps, that's, apply the oils when you're having an episode. You can do it morning and night too if you want. But these guys, they say to do it in the evening before bed. So this one oil is really good to use during pregnancy. It's called Roman Chamomile. So Roman, R-O-M as in Mary, A-N. Chamomile, C-H-A-M-O-M-I-L-E. Lavender and valerian. That's V as in Victory, A-L-E-R-I-A-N as in Nancy. And they recommend take 2 to 3 drops to the back of your brainstem. So basically, a little bit above the C1, so the back of your neck. And they also say from your shoulders to the back of your skull. So you're going to go in from your shoulders to the back of your skull. They say also to use these oils at the bottom of your feet and the Vitaflex. You can put them on the back of your big toes, but just lather up the bottom of your feet. They also say there's an oil called Juva Power. That's J is in jump, U, V is in Victory, A, Power. And they recommend take 1 tablespoon mixed with a beverage of your choice, followed by half a teaspoon of alkaline. That's A-L-K-A-L-I-M is Mary, E, in water. So these oils I just mentioned a second ago, Roman Chamomile, they're great for emotional balance, your emotional system, skin and hair. Valerian, I hope I'm saying that right, it's good for your nervous system. Juva Power, they say it's good for your digestive system. Alkaline, not alkaline, alkaline is in the fruit lime, is good for your cardio system, digestive system, muscles and bones. We talked also last podcast about lethargy, lack of energy, just feeling like sluggish, not much energy. And we discussed how in the first and the last trimesters, you typically see more of that, and it's common. We discussed also how in the first trimester, your body is creating more progesterone and sugars, which takes a toll. You feel more tired. And then the last trimester, you obviously feel it because you're carrying more weight from baby, and the body typically, sometimes, most times, gains a little weight. So your body takes a toll and you feel it. So there's quite a few oils you can try, but here's a few that are recommended. Roman Chamomile, geranium, just like the flower, G-E-R-A-N as in Nancy, I-U-M as in Mary. Lavender, transformation, jasmine. Okay, now these guys, you can diffuse right into the air, or you can directly inhale in your hands. You can apply them to your hands. You can massage into your skin. You can add 1 to 2 drops in your bath or your shower. And you can mix Roman Chamomile, geranium, lavender, then mix in some transformation and jasmine. Transformation is good for emotional balance, And jasmine is good for emotional balance and hormonal balance. Ah, very good. That might be one to think about, even when you're battling any kind of emotional, like stress, anxiety, trouble sleeping, postpartum depression. That might be one you want to go after. So, but they recommend during pregnancy to stick with Roman chamomile, lavender, and geranium. But jasmine is pure too. So, what do you feel comfortable with? Oh, back pain. Well, not just during pregnancy. A lot of us battle back pain. I have my hand up in the air. But as you know, during pregnancy, as you move along, your body shifts. You're carrying more weight, and your posture does pivot. So, your body obviously is trying to accustom and make room for baby, and more pressure is applied to your lower back. So the essential oils that are really helpful, Deep Relief, which we have in our house, it's always at hand. It's in a roller, so you can just roll away on your lower back. Valor, like I said before, it's like a chiropractor in the bottle. Just lather away on the lower back. 2 to 5 drops will do it, or maybe 3 will work. Pan away, about 2 to 3 drops. So you just massage and apply. Well, I say 2 to 3, but maybe go for 5. It depends on what you feel comfortable with. Right at the area of impact, so your lower back. So you can apply Panaway and Valor also on your shoulders. I'm going to say that you can also use Deep Relief, which we love. You can go right for your shoulders and apply these following drops up and down your spine, one at a time. You want to stroke with your fingers like a feathery, gentle motion in 4 strokes, 3 times for each oil. So these oils I didn't mention, but again, peppermint, the reason being is exciting. It excites the back, so it stimulates your back. But again, use caution, but it does help. Cypress, which is great for anti-inflammatory. So it battles inflammation. Aromaceas, Relieve It, and Spruce. And after you do this motion, again, one at a time with your fingers, feathery, gentle motion, 4 strokes, 3 times for each oil. You're going to use a warm, recommend a hot compress you can tolerate over your back where you just, you stroked. So do the hot compress after each oil. Okay? They also recommend, I don't do this, but you can use a V6 oil to dilute the blends. So aromaceas, aromaceas. You can dilute it for massage. Personally, this is just me. I don't dilute anything these days. I just go hardcore and I use it straight up. But that's, again, your call and do what you feel peace. All right, so Deep Relief, I mentioned over and over in a few different places in your body to use it. That's that roller oil, and it's good for your muscles, your bones, your nervous system. And that same idea for Panaway. It's the same thing. Muscles and bones, your nervous system. It helps. And it does work. They do work. But in our house lately, we've been finding Deep Relief for us is the winner. Okay, so as we talked about before, Valor, it's like a chiropractor in the bottle. It's really good for the bones. It's good for your nervous system, your skin and hair, and emotional balance. So not just is it good for your bones, but it really, wallop's a punch to emotional imbalance. It does help. Relieve It, not believe it, relieve it. It's good for your muscle and bones. Aromaceas, I mentioned before. It's good for your muscle and bones, your respiratory system. Spruce, just like the tree. Emotional balance. They say to be cautious with spruce. Don't put a lot on. Okay, but anyway, it's good for emotional balance. It's good for your nervous system, respiratory system, skin and hair. We talked about last time preeclampsia. Another word for it is toxemia. Toxemia. Pardon me, I'm having a moment today for pronouncing words, but it's basically, as we talked in the last podcast, it's a pregnancy-induced high blood pressure, and symptoms include proteins in urine, elevated blood pressure levels, sudden weight gain, blurred vision, abdominal pains in the upper right side, and swelling the hands and face. And we discussed in the last podcast how to help alleviate symptoms. But with this, please contact your medical practitioner, they should be taking your blood pressure per each visit. But if you start seeing any of these symptoms, immediately call them. And I'm hoping that your medical practitioner has told you this is these symptoms I just mentioned are definitely reasons to be in contact immediately. No fear, but just use wisdom. Okay, so oils that could help. We found with Lang Lang, we talked about that a moment before. It's great for helping with your blood pressure, reducing high blood pressure. Aroma Life, it's good for your cardiovascular system. So they recommend putting 2 to 5 drops of Aroma Life on the bottom of your feet and on your abdomen. And they don't say specifically, just lather away. You can do on the heart area. So that would be on your left foot, going in from the ball of your foot, going down, angled, going diagonally, down possibly 1.5 to approximately 2 inches. And also you have a lung in that same zone. So lather away there. You also have a lung on your right foot, but we really want to get to the heart. It would be on your left foot. So if that doesn't make sense, give me a holler, please. So they say again, apply it on your abdomen. You can diffuse these oils in the air. You can inhale directly or apply on your hands, your tissue. What we found successful in our house, peace and calming, lavender, gentle baby. So apply the bottom of your feet, like I just mentioned, these zones on the VitaFlex feet points. I also like to just lather away on my feet altogether, because really your blood pressure affects all organs, so we want to make sure you go to the heart, which is literally the heart of the matter, not to be making a pun, but go throughout your whole body. And then you might also want to go to the back of your neck, right, what we call the C1, the base of your neck. At the, we talked how that it goes right to the CNS, the central nervous system. So again, if anything doesn't make sense, give me a holler. But again, be in contact with your or your medical practitioner, because this is something you don't want to mess around with. Okay, so let's talk gestational diabetes. We didn't talk about that in the last podcast, but gestational diabetes is diabetes diagnosed for the first time during pregnancy. So this is a little different than a typical diabetes, but for diabetes, these oils that we're going to talk about could help. Like other type of diabetes, gestational diabetes affects how your cells use sugar or glucose. Gestational diabetes causes high blood pressure, high blood sugar that can affect your pregnancy. In some cases, it could affect high blood pressure, to be honest. And it also affects your baby's health. But there's great news. Daily monitoring levels, eating a healthy diet, getting exercise, and monitoring your baby and you should be fine. Typically, moms who battle gestational diabetes do not continue battling diabetes postpartum. So that's good news. And it's been found that gestational diabetes is caused by placental hormones that can cause the high blood sugars. We learned that there's an increase in blood sugar levels in the first trimester. And in most cases, there are no symptoms. A blood sugar that during pregnancy diagnosis, so you really should be, when you find out you're expecting, the doctors typically do, as you know, they do pregnancy tests and blood tests. And that's why it's really important that they do this to make sure that you're not battling, imbalance with your sugars. Well, there are quite a few oils you can try, and we'll tell you some of our picks. But there's rosemary, sage, and these sound just like your spices you might have in your cupboard. Cumin, C-U-M-I-N, eucalyptus, geranium, pine, lang lang, coriander, C-O-R-I-A-N as in Nancy, D as in dog, E-R, which normalizes the glucose levels, so that's a winner. Dill, D-I-L-L, just like in the pickle. It helps lower glucose levels by normalizing insulin levels and supports pancreas functions. That's good news. And also, it can properly produce insulin and help regulate the level of sugar in the blood, as well as convert starches and sugar into energy necessary for life. So that's good stuff right there. Kind of speaks a lot why expecting mamas like dill pickles. You ever hear that old wise tale? Okay, mamas want ice cream and dill pickles. Well, maybe I'm dating myself. But anyway, so there's some truth about the dill. All right, so you may diffuse these oils into the air with a diffuser or directly breathe them through your hands or tissue. You may apply 2 to 5 drops on the bottom of your feet to the pancreas vitaflex point. Okay, so that is going to be the middle of your left foot. And again, I encourage you, please look, please look on a chart, because I can talk you through it, but sometimes I think talking it through might make it more confusing. And the vitaflex point is very close. It's actually right there, bam, next to where the colon is, which we talked about before for indigestion and so forth. So it would be on your left foot going in from your arch. Let's say from the top of your foot, you're going down about 4 inches, and you're going into the middle of your foot. So you're going about 1.5 to 2 inches in, maybe, in the middle of your left foot, and applying there. Again, it's really helpful if you have a chart. Do a Google. It will really help it a lot. Okay, so you can actually go onto your pancreas as well on your body. There are some supplements that we have found useful, and I'll be honest with you, I take them myself. But as always, check with your medical practitioner first when anything's added or removed from what they recommend. You want to make sure things are documented and that they give you the green flag. So, Selfenzyme, that's S as in Sam, U-L, F as in Frank, U-R, Z as in Zoo, Y, M as in Mary, E. So, they help, these Selfenzyme capsules, they help regulate pancreas function and break stress off your pancreas. They give balance, and it just helps you get everything back into order. Okay, so there's one called Balance Complete. It's a blend of fibers to help maintain stable blood sugar levels. There's another one called Mineral Essence. And there's another one called Multigreens, or Power Meal, or Power Protein Complete. These all contain a blend of proteins and fibers to help regulate spikes in sugar, glucose, and maintain stable blood sugar levels. Another oil, Stevia, just like the sweetener, S in Sam, T as in Tom, E, V as in Victory, I-A. Sulfurzyme, as I just mentioned. They recommend Sulfurzyme taken in the morning with vitamin C. So you're going to take typically 2 capsules in the morning, and they don't want you usually to eat anything for about an hour before taking. So you're going to eat an hour after taking this, but they say take the vitamin C with it, and then you might want to take it 1 hour before bedtime. But make sure you have a gap of at least 1 hour before you have any meal. So in other words, I'm not saying eat at night, but I'm just saying have a gap before you have any meals. So you may take it an hour after a meal, or definitely at bedtime. So that doesn't make sense, please give me a holler. Alright, we talked last time about PSP, and that's known as pubic symphysis pain. So we talked in the previous podcast about the change in pelvic biomechanics during pregnancy. So what you want to do in the area of discomfort, and this one you can do as often as need be, take 2 to 5 drops and apply directly to the area you're in pain. And they recommend pan away, roll away with deep relief, because that's got a roller built in, or take 2 to 5 drops of Valor. So you're going to massage away in the area, or you can go to the bottom of your feet and just lather up. You also can take baths with Valor or Panaway. So you take 2 to 5 drops each. And then you might also have some 2 to 5 drops of lavender. So you should feel so much better. But as always, please consult with your medical practitioner if you don't feel relief or at the onset of symptoms. Early labor. We haven't talked about this, but prayerfully, this will not be the case. We want every baby to be born at perfect time, and we want you to we decree a perfect, healthy, strong pregnancy. Well, if you find symptoms of early labor, obviously call your medical practitioner, without a doubt, if you're on the phone. But to help stop, use lavender, and you're going to rub on your tummy about 2 to 5 drops, and you're going to repeat. Lavender is great because it'll help stop it. Again, call your doc. But hemorrhaging, this is very serious. If you see any signs of hemorrhaging, immediately call your medical practitioner. Hemorrhaging can come during and post-pregnancy. Postpartum hemorrhaging usually occurs in 24 hours following the birth and can be life-threatening if not stopped. So, if you have a home birth, call your doula, call your doctor, whoever, immediately. If you're in the hospital, get the nurse, get whoever. It has to be addressed. Okay, so oils that could help are, I'm going to smell this. Oh my goodness, I'm going to say this one. I'm going to spell it. Helichrysum. I'm not cursing. It's H as in hello, E-L-I-C as in cat, H-R-Y, S as in Sam, U-M as in Mary. Gentle baby. And you're going to take about 2 to 5 drops on the lower back to prevent hemorrhaging. But again, this is one red flag. Get the professionals, please. Delivery. Okay. We obviously didn't talk about this in our last podcast. During labor, you want to use lavender because it's great for circulation stimulation. It calms. It's also, believe it or not, antibiotic. And it's an anti-inflammatory as well as antiseptic. Who knew, right? Nutmeg. Okay, warning, please. Do not use large doses of nutmeg. Because what can happen, it causes nausea, it could cause a stupor, and it could cause tachycardia. So you want to use in moderation and with much caution during pregnancy. But nutmeg balances hormones, it calms the central nervous system and alleviates anxiety. It increases your circulation, and it does good to help support blood supply. Valor, which I told you before, chiropractor in the bottle. It's great because it lines your hips. It applies, you just apply along the inside and bottom of each foot, so both right foot and left foot. You have someone hold your feet, and you take right palm to right foot, and this is a person applying. Left palm to left foot, because you're not supposed to be bending over like that, to balance your energy flow. Okay, so you're going to rub 2 drops, also to the baby's born, along your little one's spine for alignment. So that's Valor. Valor is gentle, and it's great for alignment. There's another oil called Clary Sage. That's C as in cat, L-A-R-Y, Sage, S as in Sam, A-G-E. During delivery, labor, you have someone, or you can do it yourself, massaging hips, balm your feet, or your abdomen. Okay, again, if anything doesn't make sense, give me a holler. Alright, during labor, they say use Clary Sage because it accelerates labor, and sometimes people combine it with fennel. That's F-E-N-N-E-L. Yeah, just like the vegetable. Gentle Baby is great. Applied to the ankles and hands when labor starts. They say also you can use Into the Future, which helps move past any fear you might have, helps address trauma. Jasmine is great because it speeds up contractions. Present Time helps you focus. So all these can be inhaled directly or applied into your hands or diffused in the air if possible. All but Into the Future can be applied to your ankles, your lower abdomen, your hands, or the indicated area on the VitaFlex Feet chart. So I would just say lather up, but first pinpoint, look at the chart. These are great to use when you have the onset of labor, and it's also good if you find yourself in a slower, lazy labor. Okay, so any questions, give me a holler. Stretch marks, obviously we didn't talk about that the last podcast. Oh, stretch marks. Yes. Those nasty little wrinkles that stay behind. Well, there are oils that can help, and I wish I knew this almost 20 years ago. You can use Gentle Baby, and you can apply every day to your tummy. You can even use these during pregnancy, but you use every day, morning and night. Apply right to the tummy. 2 to 5 drops will do it, and it smells great and alleviates those marks. Prayerfully, you won't have this situation, but we're going to talk about miscarriage. We didn't talk about this last time. So these are going to be oils you're going to use after if you experience a miscarriage. You can use grapefruit, frankincense, geranium. To prevent miscarriage, you can try lavender, spruce, Roman chamomile. But there's one oil I mentioned before, spruce, can be inhaled directly or applied to your hands or diffused into the air. All can be added into a warm bath. So here you want to use about 3 to 4 drops each. You can massage these oils on the back, your legs, and your arms. And you can dilute with a V6 oil for a massage. It's your call. I don't dilute. I go hardcore. So you can, figure out what you like. You can take some supplements, but again, I recommend checking with your medical practitioner first. But these are great supplements to help with this. Juvatone, that's J is in jam, U, V is in victory, A, tone. T is in Tom, O, N is in Nancy, E. Cleansing Trio, which is Comfort Zone, ICP, and Essentialzyme. Essential, ESSEN, Nancy, TIAL, Zyme, ZY, M as in Mary, E. Okay, so Juvatone is good for your digestive system and your immune system. Cleansing Trio of Comfort Tone is good for your digestive system, immune system. Essentialzyme is good for your digestive system, for your pancreas, regulates your insulin and sugar levels. And IC, as in cat, P as in Paul, is good for your cardiovascular system and your digestive systems. I want to address oils that you may want to use caution with during your pregnancy. These oils are not dangerous, but due to the properties they have and your chemical balance with your hormones and such, they say use discretion. But there's all these I mentioned are very good to use during your pregnancy as well as in general. The ones to use caution are angelica, basil, or some say basil. We say basil. I say it. Chamomile. So that would be German or blue chamomile, not the Roman one I mentioned. Cistus. C-I-S-T-U-S. Citronella, just like the candle. Clary sage, and I know I recommended it in a couple places, but again, use with caution. Clove bud, savory, myrrh, nutmeg, we already talked about that. Peppermint, talked a little bit about that. Rose, spearmint, vetiver, that's V as in victory, E, T as in Tom, I, V as in victory, E, R. Yarrow, Y-A-R-R-O-W. Also, use with caution, aroma siege, clarity, harmony. I know a couple of these we said in certain portions we use caution. There's other oils you can substitute. Immune power, relieve it. These is great for your immune system, combating bugs, but during pregnancy you want to use caution. Okay. For me, my go-to list is of the essential oils are lavender, peace and calming, Gentle Baby, deep relief or Panaway, joy, valor, lemon, lang lang. Again, that's good for your blood pressure. Ginger, peppermint was, again, use caution. So, if you by chance are experiencing any pregnancy challenges that I have not addressed today, as I mentioned before, please contact us at www.conduitsoflove.com. Again, hit that contact us button. Or you can directly contact me at Allison, that's ALLYSON, at conduitsoflove.com. As always, if you have any questions or concerns regarding anything, physical, medical, psychological symptoms that you would like us to offer you recommendation of essential oils, again, I will not, give you or push you for anything. I'll just say what research has found. Give me a holler. I'll try to release information we found that could help. But again, always check with your medical practitioner first. Consult with them. All right, I think we're clear, but I just want to make sure we love you guys, and we decree and declare perfect, healthy, strong pregnancy. And as I mentioned before the beginning of the podcast, these are by far a sample of what you could face and prayerfully something you won't face during your pregnancy. And now every person is different, therefore we know that every pregnancy is different. So again, if you have any question or concerns or any information I presented today regarding essential oils, supplements, techniques, again, anything, please contact us. The information on our website and my information I shared before. I want to say thank you again for everyone joining us today. I hope this was a blessing. I hope this was educational, encouraging. Hope it helps, because we found success with essential oils, and I want to share that, so maybe it'll help you too. I'd like to pray real quick for you. I know this is a long podcast, and again, I hope this helped you. Father, in the name of Jesus, we just pray for everyone the sound of my voice. We pray blessings. Father, we just ask that your Spirit overshadows each one and gives them everything they need as they walk through this time. If these are expectant mamas who need a touch, need encouragement, we ask your Spirit to just overshadow them, give them everything they need. We ask you to send all the angelic hosts of heaven to walk them through this time. Bless them, give them everything they need, God. In the name of Jesus, we speak strength, we speak wisdom, encouragement, support, and countless blessings. And Lord, if those are listening that are not expecting, we just pray that this information helps, or if there's any way that we can be used by you to help them and guide them. Just, Lord, let them know that we love them, and especially most of all, you love them, and you just are so tickled pink with each one. So, Lord, we just thank you for this time together, and we just ask you to continuously bless every one of your kids. And, Lord, we just thank you for your mercy and your grace. All in the name of Jesus. So, as I've mentioned before in all of our podcasts, if you are an adoptive or birth parent and you find yourself in need of extra support, encouragement, guidance, direction, please, Lord, you are not alone. We are here for you. So please contact us at www.conduitsoflove.com. Again, click the Contact Us button, or contact me directly, Allison, ALLYSON, at conduitsoflove.com. We have coaches available and are ready to help. We have also health coaches available. So please do not hesitate. We are here. Okay, so in our next podcast, we are planning on discussing healthy eating during pregnancy. Well, you know what, really, this is good information for all of us. And the thing we're trying to do is get back to the basics. All right, so we're going to talk about that next time. We really hope you can join us. And we want to thank you for joining us today. And many thanks and all the blessings to you guys. So thank you. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting that subscribe button and the bell next to it to receive notifications. If you find any challenges when you're subscribing or you're not getting notifications, anytime, give us a holler. I gave you our email address. I gave you mine. Just throw us an email. We'll take care of it. Or we'll find the way that you can remedy it. Also, please, if you like this podcast, hit the like button. And as always, share with others our podcast and let us know we're here. We are here, and we are excited that you're joining us. As always, please have a beautiful, wonderful, loving, awesome week. We thank you. And we haven't said this in a while, but our heartbeat is this. You know why we do this? It's for you, but you know what? It's all about the children. So big blessings, and bye for now.